everyone, this is Deborah. Today we're going to talk about things that I've learned from being in business for over 40 years. This is for sole proprietors or entrepreneurs. You must have a regular day job. Do this business venture on the side to make sure it can support you before you quit your regular job. That means you're going to be working 7 days a week. And if you think owning your own business is going to allow you to lay around and sleep in the bed, you are dead wrong. You're going to be working 3 times as hard as if you would if you're working for the man, right? So you don't want to go into debt before you even get started. Don't be renting big office spaces. I call it the big dog syndrome. A lot of people in my family have had this, where they go and buy a brand new vehicle, they rent an office space, and then they can't pay for it. You drive old jalopies. When I first started out, I was driving a $250 old Pinto. We worked out of my house, our home, and I've always done things on the up and up legitimately. I've always taken out taxes. A lot of businesses are working under the table. That is fraudulent. If your employees are using your truck, your equipment, and you're telling them how to do the job, then they're not they shouldn't be getting a 1099. I mean, no, I know that some people have to be told what to do because you're contract labor, then you have to give them a 1099. But if they are using your tools or your equipment, no, that's not contract labor. That's when they have their own car, their own truck, their own tools. So I never ran a background check for any of my employees because my type of business was a lot of what do you call them, transients, where they go from business to business working. Certain types of businesses have that. So but I always said, if they'll steal from you, they'll lie to you. If they'll lie to you, they'll steal from you. But I would make sure their driving record was pretty good. That's important if they're driving a $500,000 piece of equipment, right? So those that are chronically late, like I'm talking over 5 to 10 minutes, after 3 times, I would write them up. Now that you're saying, why did you write them up? Well, because you have to, because if and when you do have to terminate them, you've got a record. Because if you set the precedent that it's been okay to be late, then you don't have a leg to stand on if they file unemployment or whatever. You've got to have documentation. You must. I'll give you, for instance, one of these guys came to work with shorts on, and he was working around poison ivy. I told him, don't do that again. But I told him too late. Because I never sent him home. He had to, quit his job. He had poison ivy so bad, The thing of it is, when he went to file unemployment, they go, well, did you ever write him up for wearing shorts when he should have been sent home? I said, no. Well, then you allowed that. He's going to get his unemployment. You see, that's why you have to document everything and get them to sign for it. Get them to sign, oh, you were late 3 times last week. I'm actually one of these people that got to my job 15 to 20 minutes early, because you need that time to absorb everything that's been going on since the last time you left the building, right? I also gave regular raises to the employees. You want them to make them feel good about their job and working for you. Like my ex never gave raises to the Hispanics, and that's wrong. If they're working just as hard as anybody else, they should be getting raises. And this was a very big contention, with a conflict with me and him. I told him that we would save so much money if we just worked 4 days a week instead of 5, because of the cost of gas. And I said work 10-hour days, not 8-hour days. yeah, so we had a lot of conflict. I believed in safety meetings. You must have safety meetings. You must make sure, like, I guess this depends, of course, your line of work, but I made sure all my guys were CPR rated or qualified with the Red Cross. Yeah, and smoking got to be a big problem on the job. I told the guys, I said, yeah, I know you guys are going to have a cigarette, but go behind a tree and smoke. And for God's sake, put your butt out and don't leave it in their yard. Put it in your pocket or some kind of receptacle. But I made sure all my employees had all the things that they needed to do their job, like contracts in the truck, wet wipes, because when you're doing tree work, you're in the woods. They got to have something, you know, to wipe their butt. And made sure they had bug spray and water, ice water, always. Yeah, I made sure they had all that stuff. And see, what else? What else can I tell you? Oh, it's very important that you listen to your secretary, how she relates to the customers. I always sold the job before the estimator went out there. That's the kind of secretary you want. I always sold the job because you have to educate the public. Most of the public are not very bright. They don't know the laws in your particular field. Like any of you all that have ever had work done on your house, if you don't pull a general liability policy, that means your name has to come in the mail to your address saying this business that you're hiring is fully covered and insured. That way, if they fall through your roof or something happens, damage to your property, they got insurance to pay you. You understand? A lot of people will just carry a little copy in their dashboard of their truck. No, that's not how it comes. It has to come to you because it is a bond. It's like a promise to you. And if they fail to pay their premium or their policy, you're going to get a notice in the mail saying, hey, this policy's canceled. You know, then you may want to rethink whether you should hire this company or not. But make sure they have workers' comp. I think if you have 2 or more employees, you've got to carry workers' comp. Or they have to, if it's a 1099, they got to have their own policy. So, yeah, there's so many things to learn. And paperwork is a nightmare. You better find a good accountant that will work with your type of business. We had a really good accountant, and then she passed away. She also had Clydesdale horses, and I would hire her to, she came for my granddaughter, brought her little horses. It was really nice. But yeah, you gotta have a good, and an attorney. I would definitely find an attorney that you have a rapport with. Some attorneys, if you don't have a rapport, how in the world are you going to work with you, right? So that's enough for today. Bye.